need to fit a typical Code 4 apron flashing detail to weather the joint between the tile and brickwork. Now there's a quicker and easier way to get the job done. Using the new Morton flashing kit, you can achieve perfect lead working results every time. Designed for DIY or professional lead work, the kit comprises of the Morton flashing tool, Morton flashing wedges, and the wedge installation tool. But what about the lead itself? The rolled lead sheet you use should be made in accordance with BS-EN 12588. But there are many other reasons why there's no substitute to using real lead sheet. Lead is the most recycled building material in use today. It will last longer and age more beautifully than synthetically produced products. The cost of lead is generally comparable with man-made flashings, but up to 100% cheaper over a 60-year life cycle. Lead sheet is quick and easy to install in most weather conditions. Lead has few laps and joints, resulting in a high degree of weatherproofing. Lead is proven to last up to 100 years, and when used for flashings will last about 3 times longer than most man-made products. The first step is to work out a few simple measurements. Firstly, we need to work out the overall girth of lead required to include the effective headlap, the required upstand, and the turn into the brickwork. To work out the effective headlap, also referred to as the hypotenuse, good practice is to place a level out from the point where the roof meets the brickwork, and then move the tape measure down the roof until the vertical measurement underneath is a minimum of 75 millimeters. This indicates the point the lead needs to come down to. For this particular installation, the measurement required is a 170mm lap onto the tiles. Then we need to add on the upstand, which is a minimum vertical upstand of 75mm. Then, allowing for the 25mm minimum turn into the brickwork joint, we need a minimum overall girth of 270mm. Using a pre-cut 1.5 meter length of lead, the maximum recommended, and having determined the overall width to suit the pitch of the roof, prepare it by flattening the lead ready for measuring and marking. Code 4 is the minimum code of lead that should be used for this application. It's very important that any free edge of flashing is securely clipped to stop it slipping down the roof and reduce the risk of wind lift. The ones used here are 50mm wide turn-coated stainless steel. However, copper or tinned copper clips can also be used. The lead should be clipped to suit the exposure, in this case at no more than 450mm centers along the length of the apron flashing, so it's long enough to return and trim off later. Work along the length, fitting all the clips in position, making sure you fix a clip at the point where the side lap joints. Having worked out the hypotenuse, or effective headlap, make the necessary measurements and mark along the length. Turn up the lead to form the upstand against the brickwork using a suitable edge, such as a piece of wood, and it's now ready to take onto the roof. Shaping the apron is best done with the latest Morton flashing tool. The advantage is that the lead can be turned in situ along the whole length, making it quick and easy. In fact, using the Morton flashing tool can be up to 75% quicker than the traditional method. The tool has a depth of 25mm, the minimum recommended for turning into the brick, so the lead simply needs fitting and tapping into place. The apron should then be wedged into the brickwork. Traditionally, this would be fiddly and time-consuming, using lead strips up to 100mm in length and 25mm wide formed into wedges. As the size of these wedges is down to guesswork, it usually means making a series of wedges. It's far quicker, easier and more accurate to use modern Morton flashing wedges, which are proven to be up to 20 times faster than the traditional method and up to 25% cheaper. This can be incorporated into the joint at no more than 450mm centers. The benefit with this wedge is that it's been designed to fit a joint between 6mm and 18mm. For larger chase joints, there's also a larger wedge available. The Morton flashing wedge should be placed in the joint and the purpose-made bolster used to make sure it's set right back from the face before applying any mastic, so it's not visible once pointed. It's recommended that you use this tool or a normal bolster to install the wedge. For the next piece of apron flashing, incorporate a 100mm side lap here, include a flashing clip here. The 50mm wide clips are trimmed and finished off to 50mm square. For a neat finish, the corners should be trimmed off and the clips dressed back down using a pair of seaming pliers. The last clip should be left up so the side lap can slide under. Measure and mark the 100mm minimum side lap ready for the next piece. The Morton flashing tool should again be used to create the turn into the brickwork. The next piece can then be put into position and the Morton flashing wedges fitted. When all the pieces are in place, the joint's ready for pointing. Before applying the Calder lead sheet sealant mastic, make sure the joint is dry and free of dust. Using Calder lead sealant has been proven to be up to 20 times faster than traditional mortar pointing. Once the sealant has been applied, simply use either a finger or a purpose-made tool to smooth the joint. It's important that the lead is kept dry. In damp or rainy conditions, new lead sheet will produce an initial uneven white carbonate on the surface. The rain will then wash this off and stain surrounding areas, as well as unsightly stains on the lead. A coat of Calder patination oil as soon as possible after the installation will minimize the staining. Remember to apply patination oil to the underside of the apron and allow it to dry before fitting, as this reduces any capillary action of moisture under the lead sheet. When the apron has been fitted, apply patination oil in one direction across the material, not forgetting to cover the area underneath the apron clips. These should be replaced and flattened after coating. Patination is an important part of any lead installation to reduce the naturally produced white carbonate that can cause staining. All the points shown here are covered in the Calder Guide to Good Leadwork, which is available for download on our website at www.calderlead.co.uk. This booklet has been produced to promote and encourage the correct use of rolled lead sheet flashings and weathering, and conforms to the British standards for leadwork and the recommendations of the Lead Sheet Association. For further detailed technical information, reference should be made to the LSA's publication entitled Rolled Lead Sheet, the Complete Manual, which covers the many applications of the lead sheet in buildings. Visit them at www.leadsheet.co.uk. This video was produced with the help of the Lead Sheet Association and filmed at their training centre in East Peckham, Kent.